You finally closed on the second home. Maybe it is a cabin by the lake. Maybe it is a condo in a town you love. And almost immediately the questions start. Can you write off the mortgage interest? Should you rent it out when you are not there? Does renting it turn it into a business? Here is the truth. Most freelancers never hear. The exact same house can be taxed 3 completely different ways: personal, rental, or business. And the line between them is not about the house at all. It is about how many days you use it and what you do for the guests. Get the days wrong and you lose deductions you were counting on. Today I show you all 3 paths and how to land in the one that fits you. Welcome to the Freelancer's Wealth Blueprint. This is where we turn freelance income into long-term wealth. If you are self-employed and thinking about real estate, hit that subscribe button. This channel is built for people like you. Let us get into it. Start with the simplest path, pure personal use. This is the second home you keep mostly for yourself. You and your family use it, friends borrow it, and here is the rule almost nobody knows. If you rent it out for fewer than 15 days in the entire year, the rental income is completely tax-free. You do not even report it. The IRS calls this the minimal rental exception. Some people call it the Augusta rule. Rent your lake house for 10 days during a big local event, pocket the cash, and owe nothing on it. The catch is simple. Rent for 15 days or more, and every rule changes. So the very first thing the IRS looks at is your personal use days. There is a test, and it decides everything. Your personal use cannot exceed the greater of 2 numbers, 14 days, or 10% of the days you actually rented the place at a fair price. Whichever number is bigger is your limit. So if you rent the home 200 days, 10% is 20, and 20 beats 14, so you get 20 personal days. Cross that line and the home is treated as a personal residence with rental use, and your deductions get capped. That brings us to the 3 tax worlds. One house, 3 completely different tax outcomes. Path 1 is personal, rented under 15 days. Income is tax-free and the mortgage interest is an itemized deduction. Path 2 is rental. You rent it more and you stay under your personal use limit. Now it is a passive rental on Schedule E with no self-employment tax. Path 3 is business. You provide hotel-style services and it jumps to Schedule C, where the 15.3% self-employment tax shows up. Same building. 3 different worlds. Let us walk Path 2 in detail because this is where most freelancers land. You rent the place out, you keep your personal use under the limit, and you treat it as a real rental. This is the sweet spot for most second homeowners who want real deductions without the headache of running a hotel. So how do you report it? Everything goes on Schedule E. You allocate every shared cost between rental days and personal days. Property taxes, insurance, utilities, repairs, cleaning fees. The rental day share is deductible against your rental income. The personal day share is not. So if the home was used 80% for renting, 80% of those shared costs flow onto Schedule E. Now Path 3. The business path. This is short-term rental territory. Think nightly stays where the average guest is there 7 days or less, and you provide substantial hotel-style services. Daily cleaning, fresh linens, concierge help, meals. When you cross into that level of service, the IRS can treat it as a trade or business. That moves the income to Schedule C, and Schedule C income gets hit with the 15.3% self-employment tax. So more service can mean more tax. Most owners deliberately stay on the rental side to avoid that. Here is what trips people up. The mortgage interest follows the path. On a personal second home, the interest is an itemized deduction on Schedule A, and you only benefit if you itemize. On a rental, the rental day share of that same interest goes on Schedule E and offsets your rental income directly, no itemizing required. 2 paths, 2 very different places for the exact same interest payment. One quick number on the mortgage itself. For 2026, you can deduct the interest on a combined $750,000 of mortgage debt across your main home and your second home. That is $375,000 if you are married filing separately. If your total mortgages run higher than that, the interest above the cap is simply not deductible. So a very expensive second home can push you past the line. Now, the deduction most new landlords forget. Depreciation. When the home is a rental, you get to write off the cost of the building, not the land, over 27.5 years. So take a $240,000 building basis, divide by 27.5, and you get roughly $8,700 of depreciation every single year. That is a paper deduction. No cash leaves your pocket, but it lowers your taxable rental income. Depreciation can even create a tax loss, and here is the rule on using it. Rental losses are passive, but if your income is under the limit, you can deduct up to $25,000 of those losses against your other income each year. That allowance starts phasing out once your modified adjusted gross income passes $100,000, and it disappears completely at $150,000. Any loss you cannot use does not vanish. It carries forward to future years. Let us put real numbers on it. Say you rent the home 200 days and use it 12 days yourself, so you are safely a rental. You collect $30,000 in rent. Your rental share expenses, taxes, insurance, utilities, repairs, and interest come to $14,000. Then add $8,727 of depreciation. Subtract it all, and your Schedule E net income is about $7,273. That is what you actually pay tax on, and notice depreciation cut it nearly in half. So here's the bottom line. The same second home can be 3 different tax animals, and you choose which one by managing your days and your services. Want it simple and tax-free? Rent under 15 days. Want real deductions and depreciation? Run it as a rental and watch your personal use limit. Be careful before you add hotel-style services, because that can drag you onto Schedule C and the self-employment tax. Track your rental days. Track your personal days. Keep every receipt. If this helped, hit subscribe. I will see you in the next one. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute tax advice. Consult a qualified tax professional for guidance specific to your situation.